teams coming out onto the field. Balmain already taken up their positions here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. So, their opponents, Manly-Warringah, yet to come onto the ground for this final of the 1969 Premiership between Balmain and Manly. The winner will challenge South Sydney for the 1969 Premiership in next week's grand final. It's a very cold, cloudy day here in Sydney. There's a very strong northerly breeze which blowing from left to right of your picture, straight downfield, and will greatly favour the team running with it in the first half, and it does appear to be Balmain. However, the ground itself is in pretty good condition. Now let's look at the teams. There are no changes in the advertised teams. For Manly, the fullback is Bob Batty. For three quarters, Danny Goff, John McDonald, Alec Tennant and Les Hannigan. 5'8" Bob Fulton, halfback Frank Stanton, and the forwards Bob Cameron, John Morgan, Peter Peters, Alan Thompson, Fred Jones and Bill Hamilton. For Balmain, quickly through their team, fullback Smithies, three quarters Cross, Rubner, Parker and Colleen, 5'8" Alton, halfback Bolton, forwards Spencer, Walsh, Fryer, McTaggart, Crawford and Leo. The referee is the same who has controlled the first two semi-finals, Keith Page, and here's the kick-off that will be taken by Balmain, and it appears that Manly has won the toss and has decided not to run with the breeze in the first half. Now the kick-off taken by Colleen and coming out towards the eastern touchline, and the first man to touch the ball for the day is second rower Peters. Now Hamilton standing back, it's Hamilton to get it. Cameron making the first break of the game, and he'll play it to Jones. Stanton, Fulton outside. Tennant can't get through though. Balmain showed last week in their match against South Sydney very determined defence, and I expect that we'll see that from them again today. Now there's a kick by Batty, finds touch too, just inside the Manly side of halfway, and it gives us an opportunity to introduce Trevor Allen for some comments.
Well, as Alan has said, conditions really perfect except for the strong wind coming from left to right. The ground conditions perfect. As far as the two sides are concerned, they've started 50-50 each, and I think that's good odds at this stage.
And Manly into attack by winning the first scrum of the match. Tennant can't quite get through the gap because he's put down by Alton, the 5'8", who trailed him right across field. But here's the scrum for the knock-on, and the first scrum of the match will be put down 10 yards inside the Balmain half.
And the important thing today is to see whether Manly can get the possession they expect to get through their hooker Jones.
Well, I said that was the first scrum. Actually, it was the second, but here's the first penalty. The first penalty of the match, and Colleen's coming in over from the left wing, but he's too far downfield and he's kicking for the touchline. Good kick with the breeze by Colleen. He finds touch about 12 yards outside the Manly 25. Leo will be leading the forwards for Balmain today in the absence of Beatson and block forward Craven. But another scrum to be set just inside the Manly 25. Scrum will be served by Stanton, who you'll see on the right. Number 7, his opposing halfback is David Bolton, and another penalty to Balmain. Balmain have received 2 quick penalties, and here's the first chance for Colleen, who's coming across field, and he'll definitely have a shot at goal from here. The penalty has been awarded 5 yards inside the Manly 25, right on the 10-yard line, and at the moment there's an injury that appears to lock forward Cameron, number 8. But as soon as Cameron is on his feet, we'll definitely see Colleen take a shot at goal.
Yes, it's to be hoped that Cameron is all right. I think he will be. It looks as though he may have a bit of eye trouble. But here we'll soon see Colleen. Undoubtedly will have a shot at goal. He has the wind to contend with. Straight down the field, right virtually from left to right. He'll have to kick a little to the left of the posts and try and drift it in. But he's right on the 25-yard mark. The penalty went against Stanton, the halfback from Manly, for putting the ball incorrectly. And now a golden opportunity for Balmain to open the scoring.
Colleen a casual kicker, but points will count. Good left foot kick, and he's allowed for the breeze, and that's a goal. First score of the match, a goal to winger Colleen for Balmain. Balmain leads by 2 points to 0. Batty will kick for touch. So the second kick taken 10 yards inside the Balmain half. Back to Thompson. Still getting the ball away, knocked down by Bolton, and Manly still have it. Morgan of Fulton in a bit of trouble. Knocked back further still, and Thompson with it onto Hamilton. Well, that's good recovery by Manly. They looked like they were going to lose the ball there for a while, but good recovery. And Hamilton down midway between them, Balmain 25 and half. Morgan 10 yards short of the 25. Tackled by Walsh and Spencer. Here's a shot by Fulton for field goal, going right across to the left of the post, taken by Smithies. Smithies up to the 25. Can't beat Tennant though. Good tackling by the Manly players. Smithies on his own 25. Spencer gets the ball away to Leo. Balmain starting to look a bit good now. Alton reversing play. McTaggart. And fourth tackle already upon Balmain. Out to Bolton, he'll kick. Now there's no one back here. Batty's got to race a long way back because that's a big kick, and that's a good kick. It finds touch. A beautiful kick by Bolton.
Well, there it is, the old head of a very smart international. Fourth tackle, had very little to do with it except picked the position, could see that Batty was well in field and kicked it well down using the breeze to great advantage.
So this is another vital scrum for both sides, and scrum will be served once again by Stanton, but it's only 15 yards outside the Manly line. A Balmain ball, Stanton looking for it, and Bolton will get it, but it's a knock-on. Balmain leading 2 points to nil. 12 minutes gone. Stanton with the ball. Cameron to Fulton. Tennant in a bit of trouble onto McDonald. McDonald accelerating over the 25. Goff, a very speedy winger. Can he beat Colleen? Going upfield. Colleen shepherded away by McDonald, but Goff will play the ball just short of halfway. Fulton again. Tennant. Back to Fulton. On the halfway, trying to get the ball away, but the Balmain defence is pretty tight. Peters 5 yards inside the Balmain half. Fourth tackle for Manly. Cameron kicking for the line. It's a big kick. Going back and might find touch. McDonald coming through. McDonald under it. McDonald going for the line. Here's Goff. And here's a try to Goff. Goff over between the posts. A good try to Manly. Manly hits the lead. 3 points to 2 after 15 minutes. A great try to winger Goff, made by centre McDonald, and good backing up by the Manly players.
Well, here it comes. Now watch the ball kick forward, watch Smithies come across and look as though he has it covered, but unfortunately overruns it. There's McDonald, picks it up, and McDonald wisely sent it on infield to Goff to go on to score. Good effort by McDonald. Had he known, he could have probably raced ahead and scored himself, but great football. He wasn't sure and let it go. And here is Batty coming up to take the kick right in front. What a, now 5 points, I would say, coming up.
And the breeze, which is quite strong, as we told you, but we must keep repeating it because it's a breeze that could affect the result of this game, and it's an important game. That's a goal, another 2 points. Manly lead now by 5 points to 2. 15 and a half minutes gone in the first half.
Well, good points for Manly. The crowd, I think, building up the excitement, so are the players starting to build up plenty of excitement in this. After 15 minutes, handy lead for Manly at this stage. As we have indicated, the wind is a big assistance to the Balmain side, but Balmain's defence has been excellent. Manly probing, looking to attack.
The ball back to Peters, knocks it on, and there'll be a scrum for that. Peters making a valiant attempt to regain the ball before it hit the ground, but the scrum will be put down 5 yards outside the Manly 25. Trevor, you mentioned Balmain with the breeze in the first half, but what are their tactics of winning the toss and not using the breeze to first advantage?
You mean Manly? Manly won the toss, I think, didn't they?
Well, let's debate that later on, Trevor,
yes.
Because here's a penalty to Manly. Long kick by Batty. Good passing on to Morgan. Morgan has someone there. It's Cameron. Cameron over the halfway line. Good break by the lock forward. Out to Goff. Goff in a bit of trouble though. Hasn't had the time because it was a bad pass going to him. Thompson. Over halfway again. 2 tackles going for Manly. Jones reversing play to Hamilton. Hamilton through the gap, but it's offside. Forward pass and offside. Hamilton on his way. The Balmain defenders are standing looking at him race through as the referee blew his whistle, and this penalty is given to Balmain right in the centre of the ground.
And certainly Colleen coming up. It's right on halfway. Colleen, I would say, that will definitely have a shot. It's straight in front, has a good wind assistance. Alan, in answer to your query about running with the toss, whether you win it or lose it, I always feel that the side that wins the toss should run with it, because there was always that doubt whether it will change, and sometimes it does.
A long kick by Colleen on its way. That looks pretty good and straight and hits the post. Well, how much closer can you get? Straight through Cameron's legs, but he's got it again. Unlucky for Colleen, missing with his 4th attempt at goal. Manly still leading by 5 points to 2, and Manly to run it out. Fulton, Stanton. Good play. Thompson through the gap over the 25, up towards halfway, but Bolton's there. Aided by Spencer. Thompson playing it. Hamilton, the heaviest man on the ground, trying to slip the ball away. It's dropped, picked up by Walsh onto Bolton. Bolton for Balmain, still passing the ball right across field. That's a dangerous pass. Picked up by Parker, though. Onto Smithies in the movement. Smithies through the gap. Has Colleen outside. Colleen with the ball, but Goff's right onto him. Smithies right across to Leo. Still moving the ball. Good work. Here's a good run. Out to an intercept. Stanton, no. Hannigan it is for Manly. Hannigan will play the ball outside his own 25. Back to Fulton. Stanton. Morgan outside. Morgan inside now. Playing it to Jones. Thompson on the burst. He's a hard man to stop Thompson. Back to Batty for a kick. Smithies a little unlucky, not having a good game. The ball behind him. That's a knock-on ruled. Now Bolton will serve this scrum. And the Balmain ball, I think. Bolton trying to get it out of the scrum. No, it's a Manly ball. Well, referee Page didn't quite know where it was, but Stanton had his eye on it all the time. Peters, midway Balmain's 25.5. Playing it to Thompson. Hamilton. Going straight up the middle. Hamilton, the biggest and the heaviest man on the field, but he's still nevertheless in a deal of trouble, and here's a penalty. Hamilton called upon to play the ball and wasn't allowed to do so by the Balmain tacklers, so Batty will place the ball almost on the 25-yard line.
Young Joe Walsh, the second rower from Balmain, appeared to be struggling to try and pull that ball away from the Manly player, and unfortunately for Walsh, it took too long, and of course the referee asked for the ball to be played, but he continued on. He was the prime offender.
So Batty attempting his 4th shot at goal. No mistake there. Manly further ahead, leading by 7 points to 2 after 26 minutes.
That's penalty goes to Manly-Warringah's fullback, Proper Batty.
Five points the difference now with Manly, as I said a short while ago, gaining in confidence. Balmain still not out of this game. They have tremendous defensive powers and are in the sort of side that can come back.
Well, this kick by Colleen is not as long as the last one. It's taken well by Batty. Has support in Morgan there. Morgan, plenty of pace. Look at the pace of this man. That was surprising to see Morgan stretch out so well. He's had a lot of leg injury in recent years, and it's certainly good to see him running well again. Stanton, Fulton. Peters. Playing it to Fulton, and Fulton will kick. Sending Balmain back again, and that's a good kick into touch. A good kick by Fulton. And another scrum to be put down, this time 10 yards outside the Balmain 25. A lovely kick.
And good tactics by Fulton. He's pushing the Balmain side back, and it's nothing worse than have a strong wind and someone puts in a little kick like that that gains 20 or 30 yards.
And that was the sixth penalty going to Balmain to make the penalties level after the 29th minute in the first half. Both sides have received 6 penalties, and Colleen's kick finds touch right on the halfway line. Good work, McTaggart. McTaggart up towards the 25. And that's been one of the most promising runs we've seen by a Balmain player yet. Bolton sending the ball further afield to Leo. Leo through the gap looking for support. Fryer inside. Fryer can't take it. But Balmain will still attack. Leo crossfield to Alton. Alton back again to one of his supports. Walsh down 12 yards outside the Manly line. Alton again going back towards the forwards. The ball knocked down, picked up again by Walsh, and Walsh will play the ball with 4 tackles remaining for Balmain. Bolton across to Rubner. Rubner trying to beat McDonald, can't do so. Spencer down 5 yards inside the Balmain 25. Bolton again, Alton. Fryer can't get very far, again tackled. 4th tackle for Balmain, this is important. What do we see? Leo trying to straighten up the attack. Back to Bolton, intercepted. Fulton with it. Fulton away for Manly. And Fulton on the 25 will play it for Manly. Cameron to Stanton. Morgan. No, it's McDonald. McDonald through the gap. Onto Tennant. Tennant backing up well, going straight across field, almost through. And only the desperation hold on the ankle by Alton prevented Tennant from getting away. Jones to Thompson. Back inside to Morgan. The ball's lost. Balmain with it. No. But a knock-on ruled. No, a penalty. Offside. Morgan ruled offside.
Certainly, Manly will try to press home now by scoring points in the final 5 minutes. They're 5 points in front, and this will be a tremendous advantage.
The ball out to Manly. Cameron to Fulton on the McDonald. Back to Fulton again. And Fulton's still going. It's a bad pass though. Bolton, Rubner at least has it for Balmain, and Rubner will play it. Fryer 5 yards outside his own 25. Back to Bolton, a long pass to Alton. Good backing up by the Balmain players and good tackling. Bolton, another kick, sending Batty back again. Hannigan coming down the touchline. So 2 Manly players here, but Batty racing through at full pelt to try and pick up this ball. He doesn't want to give Balmain too much ground. Running out towards cross. Sends Hannigan away up the wing. Plenty of pace, Hannigan. Coming back in field. A good side step by the winger, but taken by Walsh midway between his own 25 and halfway. A good run by the winger. Stanton onto Fulton. Tennant outside. Tennant looking for the support, but there again, that would have been a dangerous pass. Stanton out to Jones. Unlucky for Jones. He had a chance to get the ball back inside, but that's a knock-on. Another scrum to be put down 5 yards inside the Manly half. Manly leading by 7 points to 2. 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And Trevor, what's the situation of the game, assuming there's no more score in the second half? Manly coming out after half-time with a 5 points lead with the aid of the breeze.
Certainly, I think that Manly will use the wind to the fullest. Balmain have indicated that they can kick virtually 3/4 of the length of the field, and Manly in front would do the same.
Well, the ball taken away from Manly by Cross. Cross playing it. There's nobody there. Parker coming through, and they're offside, those Manly players. Morgan and Hannigan are offside. Referee Page sending them back, and here's a chance for Colleen again. Balmain want this goal if Colleen is, in fact, going to attempt it.
Colleen is the player that Balmain for sure to look for to win matches, and here he's not taking a shot at goal, and most surprised.
Well, the kick by Colleen finds touch 5 yards inside the Manly half and 25, and for the first time in some moments Manly are under pressure. McTaggart is 15 yards from the Manly line. Bolton onto Fryer on the blind side. Plenty of pace worked up by Leo. Leo trying to go straight through, but 10 yards short. Back to Fryer. Bolton out and outside. Good work onto Parker. Parker can't get too far. He's almost through, but still 10 yards short. On to Crawford. Back to Bolton. Here's a chance for field goal right in front. He can't miss that, and he doesn't. A field goal to David Bolton. Manly 7, Balmain 4, 2.5 minutes before half-time.
Well, what handy points. I was most surprised that Colleen didn't have an attempt at that penalty. When you start refusing penalties at this stage of the game, I often wonder what you do in the second half, particularly when you're looking for that couple of points. But fair enough, they've decided that they'd go down and try and get 5. They didn't. They got 2 from field goal by Bolton, which was a good, neat effort. Took his time and made no bones about it. It was straight through the middle. But I feel that Colleen at this stage should be having a crack at every attempt of a penalty goal. He hasn't been that far out.
Another long kick by Batty, sending Balmain right back, and that's going close to the touchline. Spencer very close to the line, but running it upfield again, straight into Peters, and this could be into touch. Very close to it, and he's into touch. And a penalty against the Manly forwards. Apparently, referee Page had called upon Spencer to play the ball. The Manly forwards didn't allow him to do so. And that relieves a bit of pressure for Balmain with the way the scrums have been going in the first half. Colleen kicking from very close to the touchline, and that's a good kick because when you consider the angle that he had, it's a very good kick to gain the distance he did. Bolton on the move now. Walsh, a long pass out to Rubner. Rubner back to Outen. Outen will be in a bit of trouble. And Outen solidly dumped in a dangerous tackle, and these Manly players will be called out. Tennant it is, and McDonald. The 2 Manly centres being spoken to because that was really a hard tackle. And ambulance attention is required for Outen. But he's on his haunches, so he can't be that badly hurt.
Well, throughout the season, the referees have been very hard on this height or tackle where the players pick the player up and spear him into the ground. It is a dangerous tackle. I must say that on many occasions, though, I feel that perhaps the referees are a little harsh on players because the timing of players, sometimes in tackling another player, they automatically fly in the air. But, of course, in this case, 2 were there and they made no bones about what they were going to do with Outen. But he's all right and the game will proceed.
Well, Colleen has the advantage of the kick. Not a bad one either. Sends Manly right back to within 5 yards of their own 25-yard line. Second kick taken by Colleen. Bolton back inside to McTaggart. McTaggart, a wall of defenders around him, and he's going to be put to ground too. Fryer, no one there. On to Crawford. Crawford knocks on. A scrum to be put down 10 yards outside the Manly 25, and the half-time siren should go at any moment. There it is. In fact, the half-time siren goes, but the scrum has been ordered and will be set 10 yards from the Manly 25. Cameron standing out of the scrum. Balmain ball, winning the ball now. Outen in a bit of trouble. A long pass out towards Colleen. Colleen sending it high back into the air. Now that's good tactics. Balmain players coming streaking through the ball, picked up by Spencer, passed backfield again onto Fryer. Fryer passing it on again. Now Parker outside, on to Cross going for the corner. Cross close. Cross very good. He's over. No, into touch.
Now watch the play as it comes across. The main interest, of course, is to see how far short Cross was. Good passing. Here's Parker now. He's cut Cross coming up and he's going straight and looks as though he's going to make it, but just outside the corner post. He
much no try, but my word, that was a close thing, very close to half-time, right on half-time, in fact. And so Manly go in at half-time, leading by 3 points. Manly 7, Balmain 4. At half-time, the scrums favouring Manly by 8-3, and the penalties favouring Balmain by 10-7. Now Batty will kick out off. There appears to be no change in the Manly side, but we'll give you more details later on about the changes in the Balmain team. It's a long kick that sends Balmain right back to their own line. Spencer coming up towards the 25. Smithies in the movement outside of Fryer. Fryer again on the 25, so Balmain haven't got too far yet. Now that's Bower, that's the hooker Bolton that was playing a dummy half with the headband round. That's Bolton now. Back to Fryer, onto Smithies. Smithies kicking for the line, but it's out on the full. A scrum to be set back 10 yards outside the Balmain 25.
Well, Manly now in a very handy position to really start launching another attack 2 minutes after the start of the second half. They'll be looking to press home this handy 3-point lead.
Manly ball and a penalty, and we have noticed a change in the Manly side. Billy Bradstreet is on the field for Manly, and one of the Manly forwards is missing. It appears to be Alan Thompson.
Number 32, and Keith Houghton is out, replaced by Kevin Bowery, number 15.
Yes, well, our predictions were right. We've got the teams organised, and Balmain on the move with Walsh going up towards halfway. And the penalty against the Manly forward standing inside the 5 yards, and that to me seemed a funny sort of decision, Trevor.
Well, it certainly was. It was a bit close. I think the big interest at the moment now, Alan, I must say this, is whether Manly will use the kick a lot and just how Balmain can overcome this breeze and the lack of possession.
Well, they're not lacking possession now because they've got it, and inside the Manly half too. Fryer out towards Bowery. Good run by the player too, right on the 25. Parker dropping the ball, picked up by McTaggart, and McTaggart will play it on the 25. Killeen having a shot for field goal. That's a big long kick too, going straight for the posts, but to the left of the posts. Just shaved the left hand upright out over the dead ball line, so there's no points from that. Manly still lead by the 3 points, 7 points to 4 after 2 minutes in the second half.
Big kick by Killeen, and the Balmain supporters behind the line of the kick thought it was over, but it just to the left of the posts. Now we have Bowery, who has just come on to replace the Balmain player, has just come on for this half, is injured.
And there we see with the knee band on the left leg, not the right leg in the background, that's Bobby Fulton, but number 16, as our picture changes, was the replacement Manly forward, Billy Bradstreet. But Bowery's back on his feet, and play will be restarted with the kick from the Manly 25. Stanton, and the ball drops, kick through by Bolton. Bolton chasing it through, but that's a knock-on. Goff saving the day for Manly, or so he thinks, but there had been a ruling of a knock-on further upfield, and the scrum goes down just outside the Manly 25.
Very near seeing Bolton, almost had it.
And Bolton looks like he's doing a little bit better in the scrums. He's won this one for Balmain, and Bolton will play it. Fryer coming out of the second row for Balmain and losing the ball, but the penalty goes to Balmain.
Well, interference in the playing of the ball there. John Morgan, the second rower, looked as though he might have punched the ball out of the player's arms. Well, certainly here's a golden opportunity for Killeen to add further points. He so far has only kicked 1 out of 5, but this is an easy one. He's kicking into a stiff breeze, but he's a powerful kicker.
That's a good kick too. A good kick. Balmain come a little bit closer and trail now by only 1 point. The kick to Killeen makes the score Manly 7, Balmain 6. Now there might be some confusion in this half because there are now 2 Boltons on the field for Balmain. The halfback David Bolton, number 7, Len Killeen the kicker, and the other Bolton wearing jersey number 32, who is the hooker. And the kick by Batty goes back towards the goal line, taken well back there by Spencer. Spencer on the 25 and will play it. Fryer. Not a bad run under the circumstances because there were plenty of defenders around him. McTaggart. Back to Peter Bolton and Colleen kicking. A long hook kick going right across field. Hannigan chasing it across, and he won't get that one. That's into touch.
Quite obviously surprised the Manly players. I don't think anyone expected Colleen to kick the ball against this strong breeze, and particularly across field, and it went over that side and certainly surprised them all along.
And another Balmain ball. Well, more possession now from Bowery out towards Parker and then onto Rubner, and both the Balmain centres colliding. Rubner on the ground, he's hurt. Leo and Balmain using their forwards up the middle. Bowery. And another chance for a field goal. Colleen setting himself, hasn't got time though, goes for the kick in the air. Smithy's following it through, but that's into touch on the full. So this scrum will be put down about 10 yards outside the Manly 25. And further across field, as we saw earlier, Parker and Rubner, the two Balmain centres colliding. And here's the result. Rubner not too well.
We certainly hope that there are no injuries in this half. This match has been played at a pretty fast pace, and I must say that in very clean and a good spirit, no doubt about it. And it's to be hoped that neither side lose a player, because I can only foresee at this stage a very close finish.
Well, Rubner looks as though he's going to stay on. And getting back to the field for the scrum that's going to be put down by referee Page. It appears that Peter Peters has moved into the front row as prop forward, and Bradstreet has come into the pack as lock forward. You see the brand new pair of shorts on the back of the scrum for Manly, but another penalty against the Manly pack and another chance for Colleen. Captain of the Manly side, Fred Jones, asking the referee the cause for the penalty. And Colleen setting himself for another kick. Well, this is a vital kick because Balmain trailing by 1 point. At the moment, it's Manly 7, Balmain 6, and this kick, if successful, would put Balmain in front. On its way, looks pretty good, and that's there. So Balmain in front, 8 points to 7, and 7 minutes gone in the second half. The Balmain spectators, but we're in once again for another good finish. 1 point the difference, 15 minutes gone in the second half. And a Manly ball. No, we can't tell. No, it looks like, yes, a Manly ball. So Manly on the attack, Bradstreet knocking on. And another scrum will have to go down for the knock on, but still well within striking distance for Manly, only 15 yards out from the Balmain line. Balmain leading by 8 points to 7, and the scrum will have to be set once again as David Bolton went away with the ball on the blind side. Serving the scrum again, and a penalty to Balmain against the Manly front row, and the pressure is relieved for Balmain by the penalty from the scrum, and Colleen coming across will kick for touch.
Well, after that onslaught of the Manly players, Balmain must be really looking for this break of getting up the field. And now they have an opportunity to show us their wares. They'll obviously want to try and run this into the Manly half.
Well, Manly aren't going to help them because they're coming up very quickly in defence, and McTaggart makes some distance though, and he's 10 yards short of halfway, loses the ball, and it's a knock on. Losing the ball, and the scrum goes down 10 yards inside the Balmain half, and McTaggart's not happy about it, but I dare say the Manly pack is.
Noticeable that the Balmain side are playing Spencer well out of the scrum now.
Well, here's a penalty going to Manly this time, taking the penalties to Balmain 15, Manly 10, and Manly have the chance of getting closer once more.
Referee speaking to David Bolton, the halfback, who quite obviously questioned the decision of the penalty against him. Well, Bob Batty's been off beam with his last 2 or 3 kicks. He's kicked 2 out of 6. This is a long one, but really perfect position for the following breeze. If anything, it will be directly behind the flight of this ball. That mark, is, you can see, is the 10-yard mark from halfway, and he's about 12 yards in from the touch.
It's a long kick for Batty. Away to the right again, no goal. Balmain still leading by 8 points to 7. Spencer running the ball out, going across field. Peters comes at him, so too does Jones, but he's got too much pace. Over the 25, no support. There it is now, but Manly get the ball. Stanton for Manly, short of the Balmain 25, and a pity for Balmain that after such a good run, the effort was spoiled by losing the ball. Jones, Brad Street outside, but Jones keeps the ball. McTaggart making sure of the tackle with Peter Bolton. Now Matt Hamilton, the biggest and the heaviest man on the field. He's over 16 stone, about 16 stone 2. On the move now, a shot by Stanton for field goal, but to the left of the posts. Touched in air. So play to be restarted because the ball was touched, and play to be restarted from the Balmain goal line.
And once again, Balmain have the problem of struggling out. They're finding it difficult at the moment to overcome the Manly defence. It's very difficult, pinned down with this strong breeze against their face.
Now there's an example of the breeze. That should have been a longer kick by Colleen, but the wind bringing it back, and Batty with it now for Manly. Taken by the second row forward in Walsh. Will play it 10 yards inside the Balmain half. Playing it to Fulton. On the blind side, Peters. Doesn't get very far because he's well tackled by Bowery. Back to Stanton. Hamilton. And there'll be a penalty from that, I think. Walsh being called out. Second row forward, Walsh being called out for making some assault on Hamilton, we must presume, and I think it's going to be a penalty to Balmain, and this is a handy one to Manly, and it's going to be a handy one for them because it's right in front of the posts.
Well, certainly bad tactics by Walsh there. The player was well held, and he came in as the third tackler. He's now given the opportunity to Manly to hit the front. This is not a very difficult kick. Bob Batty lining it up will take all care with it, and should he kick it well, Manly will go to a 1-point lead. Bad play by Walsh. Obviously getting excited about the game, but as I say, bad form right in front.
And that one's over. So Manly in the lead again. Manly leading by 9 points to 8. 19 minutes gone in the second half.
Well, now we shall see how some testing play. I feel that Manly will regain a lot of confidence that they've seemed to have lost in the last 17 or 18 minutes. Balmain, of course, will have to apply the pressure, will have to get in to the half and retain the ball. They've lost it a couple of times when they shouldn't have.
Another long kick by Colleen goes right back to the goalpost, taken by Morgan very calmly, and Morgan will run it up to the 25. A lot of pace by a big second row forward, makes the break downfield up towards halfway, tries to beat off Spencer but can't do it, but that's a good run nevertheless because he's only 5 yards short of halfway. Back to Jones. Stanton, Fulton outside, Stanton keeping it himself, and a head-high tackle by Leo being called out. Well, I don't really believe that connected with Stanton, but Stanton's making believe it did.
Well, there's little doubt that he went well over Stanton's head from here. I'd say it missed by a good foot. But, of course, the referee has pulled Leo out, because he has hit Stanton, but I think it's purely and simply because he did throw a rather vicious stiff arm. This, I feel, that Balmain can't allow to creep into their game. They've got to concentrate on their football because they've done a good job so far after 20 minutes in this half. But Manly, if they sense that the Balmain players are going to get upset, they'll apply the pressure still more, I think, by using their attack. And this they must do.
And here's Manly's 12th penalty. Batty, long kick, finds touch, 12 yards short of the 25. Stanton, Jones, who's it go to? On to Hamilton. Hamilton trying to unload the ball to Bradstreet, but that would have been dangerous too. Back to Jones. Cameron. Further across field, Fulton. Getting it on to McDonald. McDonald straightening up. Good bit of work too. Lovely sidestep this bloke's got. On to Fulton. Fulton through the gap, but losing the ball. Now it's straight on to Batty. Batty kicking through. Manly coming through. Here's a try coming up. Goff's over. Goff's second try. A lovely piece of team effort. A great try to Manly. Manly in front further now by 12 points to 8 after 22 minutes in the second half.
Now watch how the player got that ball round. Now here you see Batty with a beautiful infield kick, and the players coming, Goff getting right under it, beating Smithies to it.
Well, Goff scoring his second try, and I said earlier before that Goff is one player who is a fast man. He's elusive. He's a good player, a good handler. But as Trevor mentioned too, with the case with McDonald, with the brilliance in the back line, Manly don't make full use of it. And it's good to see Goff scoring his second try. And he's missed it. Almost right in front. He's missed the goal. Manly still leading by 12 points to 8. 18 minutes remaining in the match.
And certainly a bad miss by Batty there. Purely and simply because there is only 4 points the difference. It still gives the Balmain side a chance. Had he kicked it well, 6 points is a lot to gather in.
And the official attendance has been posted for today's match, 41,400 for the Rugby League final for 1969. The winner of this match will qualify for the grand final against South Sydney next week, and the loser will drop out altogether for this season. On to Peters on the blind side, he knocks on, and advantage rule played on. Hannigan with it, but the knock-on will be played with the scrum to be put down on the Manly 25. Scrum moving off the mark. Balmain have it. Here's a chance for them. Rubner can't get very far, and Rubner put down pretty hard. Good tackle by Tennant. He's kept Rubner pretty quiet, but the same's also applied in reverse. Bolton almost through the gap. Stanton comes at him. On to Cross. Cross going for the line, but plenty of defenders. Balmain definitely had a chance there. A good bit of opening up by Bolton. Now Manly on the move again. On to Fryer. Fryer in trouble, though. Now here's a chance. Back to Bolton. He's having a shot at field goal almost right in front. Bolton's put it over, I think. That's another field goal. Bolton's second field goal for the day, and Manly leading now only by 12 points to 10 after 24 minutes in the second half.
Well, certainly both sides turning on some really good football now. The cover defence of the Manly side, when Cross looked like going in, was excellent. There were 4 Manly players there, and it was certainly good. The Balmain players, I feel, can put the pressure on, and I can only foresee, once again, as I said earlier, a great finish.
Now Spencer showing a lot of pace, going up the eastern touchline, but the Manly defence gets to him. McTaggart on to Fryer. Fryer back in amongst the forwards. 2 tackles remaining for Balmain. Playing it to Leo, going himself from dummy half, up towards halfway, and that's as far as he goes. Back to Bolton. Bolton opening up play, good bit of work, and they've regained possession. Smithy's on his way, but a penalty against the Manly team.
And you can see a very disgusted Smithies. The ball came to him. The referee awarded the penalty, and I thought just a little bit late. Perhaps if he'd played the advantage rule, there was little doubt that Smithies could have gone on to score the try.
Killeen kicking for touch, finds it 2. The second kick taken 12 yards short of Manly's 25, and this has been good football in the second half with play going from one 25 to the other. Leo met solidly by Hamilton and Peters. There's a bit of weight amongst those 3, I'll tell you. Balmain on the move again. Bolton out to Fryer. McTaggart to Fryer now. Fryer getting close. He's only 15 yards short of the Manly line. And the penalty against Morgan.
Well, obvious why he was penalised, and you could see the referee indicate there was a knee up in the tackle, and how honestly the players in a final such as this can give away such foolish penalties, particularly, well, at any stage, but Manly are in front. Here we have a foolish penalty given away, and there is the skipper. Jones must be immensely upset. The easiest and simplest of kicks.
Killeen kicks, he makes it 12 all. Killeen's 4th goal from 8 attempts, and the scores are level. 12 all and only 15 minutes remaining in the match. And it's a Balmain ball. Well, Bolton could have been lucky. It appeared to come out the Manly side. Stanton claiming it, but Bolton will play it. So the scrum officially goes to Balmain, although it could have come out the opposing set of forwards. Balmain have to run it out now. They can't let Manly get too close to the line. And it goes to Killeen for a kick. This is a longer kick by Killeen, sending Batty across field, and it's dangerous. Picked up by Barry. Barry tackled high, and the penalty against Barry, though, because he was ruled in front of the kicker. So another let-off for Manly. Barry ruled offside, and here's another chance for Batty. Well, 3 out of 10, and this kick is no easier than his previous attempt, so if ever Manly wanted him to kick one, this is going to be it.
Well, it certainly is the one for Batty. I must say that the decision there must have been a very close one for the player being offside. Killeen did take a certain amount of time in kicking that ball, and perhaps a few of the Balmain players were racing upfield and got away to an early start. But if Batty wants to make a hero of himself today, this is the opportunity for him. 6 minutes to go, 12 apiece, and a golden opportunity for Bob Batty to put Manly in front.
Now that looks pretty good. That's a goal. Manly go ahead again by 14 points to 12. 5.5 minutes remaining in the match, and it's up to Balmain now. Let's see what they can do. Balmain kicking a great Batty kicking a great pressure goal for his side, but now it's up to Balmain. Killeen selecting the area to which he'll kick it, and he's going across field towards Hannigan's wing, and the little winger takes it well. A small kick over the head, but that could be dangerous for Manly, giving possession away. Under cross, speedy winger up the touchline. Goff and the defence go with him. McDonald at dummy half. Bolton to Bowery. On it goes again to McTaggart. Now Rubner, first time we've seen Rubner for a while. A big robust player, still 5 yards short of the Manly 25. Back to Killeen. Killeen running it upfield, small kick over the head. Killeen almost has it. Killeen has knocked on. Killeen over the line. Smithy's going across the line, but that was a knock on all the way. Smithy's putting the ball down just in case, but he knew in his own mind that it was definitely a knock on. And the scrum goes down inside the Manly 25.
We said previously that the last scrum down in Balmain's 25 was an important one. What about this one?
On to Spencer. Spencer almost through the gap, hit from behind by Bradstreet and Fulton. So Balmain on the move, but they've lost the ball. Picked up by McDonald. On to McDonald now. McDonald coming straight upfield. Tackled by Rubner, thrown to the ground. Stanton onto Jones on the blind side, puts his head down. Tackled by Peter Bolton and Walsh, but he'll play it back to Stanton. On to Hamilton. Eight yards outside his own 25. The fourth tackle for Manly coming up. The ball back to Batty for a kick. He gets plenty of time for it. Sends the kick right back down over Smithy's head, and that's a good long kick, but well taken by the Balmain fullback. Over his own 25 now. Comes up towards Fulton, and the Fulton takes him well with a nice tackle. Fulton hanging on. He won't let him get away. Parker going straight across field onto Stanton. Stanton can't take him. On up towards Bradstreet. Through Bradstreet's tackle onto Hannigan. And cross tackle by Hannigan. The ball dropped, picked up by Hannigan, but a penalty against the Manly player. Hannigan ruled offside, and the penalty goes to Balmain.
3 minutes to go. One would have thought that Balmain would probably fold up after that goal kick by Batty, but they're still going on with it. Manly, of course, are desperately trying to cover defend. Now here we have an opportunity for Balmain. They'll undoubtedly go for touch. It must go out. Then they have, as I say, about 3 minutes to go. 4 tackles from that movement, and it will be interesting to see just how they apply their attack. They've let themselves down occasionally in the last 5 or 6 minutes with bad handling.
Good kick by Colleen going for the line, and he raises the flag midway between the 25 and halfway. The second kick goes to Balmain. What can they do? McTaggart almost through the gap. He's played well today, McTaggart, but here's a chance he needed. Peter Bolton on to David Bolton, straightening up again. Bolton almost through the gap. He's almost through. Cover defence puts him to the ground. 2 tackles remaining, and Balmain in the position for a field goal. So this will have to be good work. Fryer takes play closer to the line. Bolton has gone back. Bolton will have a shot for field goal if the ball comes to him quickly enough. He's standing on the 25. Back it goes to Bolton. He drops the ball. Hasn't got time. Picked up by Peter Bolton. On to Smithies. Smithies almost in the clear. The ball out to Rubner. Rubner going for the line. He's over. Rubner is over. Balmain in front by 15 points to 14. The conversion to come, and only a minute and a half remaining.
Watch the brilliant play of Smithies, number 1, just calling for the ball. You'll see it when it gets to him. I'm sorry, it's a bit early, but here you'll see it come to him now. There he is. Smithies, and a long pass out to Rubner, and watch Rubner rushed off and crushed right over, and he's about a foot inside. Great effort. Well, certainly, great effort, and what a tremendous climax. 2 minutes to go. Balmain almost out of the game. Looked as though they could not do it. Got back to have an attack. They had 4 tackles. They almost missed it, and finally got over in the corner. Well,
and Colleen's kick can win the match. It's 15 points to 14. If he kicks it, Manly will need a try. It's a good-looking kick going straight for the posts, but just shaves the left hand upright. No goal. Balmain leading by 15 points to 14. A minute and a half remaining. Manly coming back, and what will they do? Batty setting the ball at halfway, not wasting any time. Manly haven't given up hope yet. Short kick, it won't go 10 yards. And a penalty to Balmain. The kick by Fulton not reaching the required 10 yards. Another chance for Balmain.
Oh, what a bad error by Manly. Now they've given Balmain the opportunity to waste time. Now he could have a shot at goal. That'll take, frankly, almost to full time. But now they're going to try and see if they can score more points. But they'll tighten up now. You won't see much danger in their play from here on.
And the clock on the outer side of the ground showing 0, so it means the hooter could go at any time. Balmain have the ball, and it could be Balmain's match by 1 point. David Bolton on the open side of play, taken by Jones, McDonald and Hamilton. Bolton will play it. Siren's gone, Manly coming in, and the match is all over. Balmain win the final for 1969 by 15 points to 14. For Balmain, the solitary try to George Rubner. Colleen 4 goals, Bolton 2 field goals. For Manly, Goff 2 tries, Batty 4 goals. The statistics of the match, Manly winning the scrums by 11-9, and the penalties favouring Balmain by 19 points to 14. Balmain winning the final, 15 points to 14, to qualify for the grand final against South Sydney, the 1968 premiers, in a week's time.